We are live here in Brampton, Ontario, 2019 Master Mix Final being hosted here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. On est à Brampton en Ontario, c'est la finale de la division Mix Master qui opposera Qold de Québec à Flux de Calgary. So Prairie or Alberta against Quebec here in this Master Mix Division Final. Qold portant les chandails blancs et Flux wearing the darker jerseys. So there was a travel call on the last action. Mon nom est Étienne Fournier, je serai votre co-hôte pour cette animation. J'ai le privilège de partager cet instant avec Alicia Racine. Bonjour Alicia.
Allô tout le monde.
We're running a little late into our setups.
We
Nonetheless,
apologize.
Qold in possession in the red zone, looking to score the first point of this Mixed Master Final. There was a call, I think some contact in the end zone. Intense person-to-person defense being played here. So whoever wins that game will host the privilege of organizing the 2020 Canadian Mixed Master team in order to compete in the 2020 World Championship. So, disc is in the air. Number 6 from Qold, confirming the first point of this game. Alors Qold qui prend les devants 1-0 pour ce premier point de cette grande finale. Après que la ligne offensive québécoise a complété un sans faute dans sa progression. Alors le numéro 6, Lydia Lebel, qui confirme le premier point de son équipe. Équipe qui est menée, entre autres, là, par le capitaine Spirit Simon Bélanger. Et aussi par Marianne Pilon, qui orchestre toute l'équipe, qui est entraînée par Brun Charland, un vétéran de la scène de Ultimate québécoise. Flux will be on the receiving end, looking to make this game tied to 1. Lots of people in the stands gathering. Most of the people have ended their championship weekend so far, looking to enjoy a great late Saturday afternoon. Sunny. Beer garden is active and quite busy. It's on the left-hand side of your screen. So it's quite a great feeling, even though maybe you're not in the final or you're not in semis, but it's a great feeling to finish a Canadian Ultimate Championship. Great pass, long pass. Unfortunately, out of reach for Flux. It'll be a turnover favoring Qold. But there was, I believe, some contact on the throw, which might explain why it was out of reach. So, uncontested foul. Flux will have a take 2 for the last action. Will they repeat a long pass attempt? That's what we'll find out in a few seconds.
It was a great look there in the deep end. After the foul call, maybe that's what caused the foul. So maybe we'll see that again.
This movement by Flux, Calgary-based team, but they have a few Quebec-based women players that they have picked up on their roster. Alors Marjolaine Bourget, originaire de Montréal, qui joue avec l'équipe albertaine, entre autres. Frédéric Desbiens aussi joue avec l'équipe albertaine. Oh, bel effort défensif ici. Great pass. It's floating. Two receivers catching it just on the goal line. Looking to confirm the point, but there was some pick, I believe. 4 observers are on duty for this final. So number 71 from Qold, Pierre-Benoît Allard, qui explique son point de vue. Plaide sa cause auprès de son adversaire.
Il y a beaucoup de discussions à la end zone avec les deux joueurs, là. Je pense que le résultat, ça va juste renverser back avec Flux en force.
Flux threatening to score their first point, resetting, giving themselves a short break, keeping possession. Flux. No, it's being dropped, unfortunately. I believe the Flux player was just looking to make sure her feet were inside the line, tiptoeing the last inches of the field, but unfortunately lost control of the disc. Qold with a first breakpoint opportunity early in this first half of this Mixed Master Division Final, CUC 2019. Pick call. Everybody resets. Alors, Qold, qui est une équipe de joueurs basés à Québec, compte aussi parmi ses rangs le numéro 36, Max Guy, un joueur de la région de Montréal. Qold, en progression, bord de l'eau. Le gaucher s'est libéré à l'intérieur. Alimente son coéquipier, numéro 71. Le disque est dans les airs. Et c'est attrapé par le numéro 27. Et confirmé par les observateurs. Alors Qold qui se donne en début de partie une avance de 2-0. Inscrit le premier point bris de ce match, le numéro 27, le Fanny Rouleau, qui a attrapé cette passe dans la zone de points.
Une belle passe dans la end zone était là tout le long. Fait que c'est le deuxième point pour Qold. Puis il commence la game très bien déjà. On verra peut-être un changement avec Flux sur l'offense puis la défense aussi.
So Flux was initially seeded first of this tournament, while Qold was initially seeded number 2. So somehow, someway, the logic was respected throughout this tournament. So the 2 top-seeded team making it to the final. So the crowd cheering for Qold, cheering them to play defense. Flux looking to put their first point on the scoreboard. Threatening to go long, but going sideways, earning some yardage. Nice cutting by number 61. Going up the line. Calgary, Marjolaine Bourget with the disc. Montreal-based player putting the disc in the space. And it's completed right, hustling by number 31, who puts Calgary on the scoreboard. It's 2-1 for Qold.
That was a really good possession by Flux there. Their movement with their handlers and the flow of the offense was really well done. They were able to capitalize in the end zone.
Early in this first half, 1 break point was scored by the white jerseys, team from Quebec City. They're called Qold, with a Q, not with a C.
Could be confusing.
Why the Q? Because they come from Quebec City, which also starts with a Q. And I was told that during a few months during the winter, it's pretty cold in Quebec City. So
very original. And pride to Quebec, for sure.
Actually, all the Quebec City-based team name starts with a Q. There's Quest, Quaker. There's Quake also in the open division. So Quebec City, ultimate community, very proud of where they come from, ensuring that it's being shared wherever they play. Parlant du loup, c'est Qold en réception de service, Gérin. On bouge bien 10 latéralement. Qold qui s'est qualifié pour cette finale en défaisant Guy à Serge Gérin. Il lance une bombe. C'est hors de portée. On avait lancé de près de 60 verges, 70 verges ici, là. Impressionnant de la part de Gérin, un vétéran de la scène de l'Ultimate québécoise, qui, lorsqu'il ne joue pas au Ultimate, agit comme notaire dans la région de Sherbrooke.
Oh,
Flux responding back with another floating disc. Long, being caught. Wow, number 54 coming out of nowhere. There was a ton of contact prior to this catch, but observers are confirming the point. And it's a tie game to 2. Flux scoring their first break point.
what an exciting break point for Flux. In the midst of that potential jump ball, we had both the Flux and the Qold player battling, and there was a bit of physicality on that point, likely to have resulted in a foul. However, Flux has had their teammates trailing that play and was able to get the disc in the end zone.
So yes, we have a tie game. 2-2. After Flux just piping that long pass. I think it's number 4, Rob McLeod, which is one of the record holder for throwing the disc the longest. He just attended the 5th World Championship and always ends up earning some medals, either because I'm not too sure about the exact name of those disciplines, but what a flick and what a backhand as he can provide, and he very well displayed it. So number 4, Robert McLeod, expect him to have an impact on this game's output. McLeod having attended many finals in the past, tons of experience. Game tied at 2. L'équipe québécoise contre l'équipe albertaine. Les Albertains enfoncés, les Québécois en blanc. C'est le championnat canadien d'Ultimate, division Mix Master ici à Brampton, Ontario, édition 2019. Max Guy en possession du 10, numéro 36. À surveiller, celui-ci d'une rapidité complètement hallucinante. Qold, le disque est dans les airs. C'est la mêlée qui redescendra avec le 10. Le 10 redescend par lui-même. Ça a été touché par plusieurs joueurs, entre autres par le numéro 20. Simon Bélanger, qui fait partie des capitaines Spirit. Un appel ici de Pat Langlois contre son adversaire. On discute. L'observateur qui est juste aux côtés des deux belligérants. Alors, il y a quand même une foule intéressante ici. On voit des deux côtés des terrains, sans compter la terrasse où les gens peuvent profiter d'une excellente boisson bien fraîche du côté gauche de votre écran. On voit le vent là, qui va de la droite vers la gauche de votre écran. Donc, l'équipe albertaine qui a le vent dans le dos. So, Flux going downhill with NSC. He used to come from Quebec. He started his ultimate career in Montreal, then moved to Ontario. He's now in Calgary. Nice defense by Qold. Blocking this disc, Simon Bélanger. Max Guy avec le disque. Le gaucher. Feinte la longue, remet en soutien. Numéro 47. Alexandre Dion s'attend à ce qu'il ait beaucoup de disques dans ses mains. Il fait partie de la brigade de corps arrière de l'équipe québécoise. Il gère les actions offensives des chandails blancs. Il y aurait eu obstruction. On va résoudre ça assez rapidement. Dion en possession du disque. Défendu par NSI. L'Anglo attaque la ligne. Dion tente de compléter une passe côté bris, mais c'était entre deux joueuses de Qold. Il semble avoir une mauvaise communication ici. Peu importe le revirement. Et pour Flux, NSI en possession du disque. Looking for a long. Faking. Pivoting. Holding it. Resetting to number 2. The Jungles with the disc. So still, Flux holding the disc. Oh, there was some bumping here. Disc is floating. It's in the air. Oh. Nice bid by a Flux player. Reaching out horizontally to grab that disc in the goal. In the end zone, number 7. Unfortunately, we don't have his name on the roster, but indeed, it was a great bid.
Unfortunately, I think he got injured on that play. The disc came down quite a bit on an angle, so his dive and bid was probably adjusted. Came down hard on his shoulder and elbow. That seems to happen. Hopefully he's okay. It was a great effort, though. Definitely a great effort and a good put in the end zone.
Great pass, great effort. We suspect the wind picked it up just a little. It might have made the disc dying a little quicker than anticipated. So this is the last game for both of these teams. This is the Master Mixed Final for the gold medal. Whoever wins will take the lead on becoming Team Canada Mixed Master for 2020 World Championship. JP Gérin remettra le disque en jeu. Max Guy qui essaie de se démarquer. Côté bris, Dion qui enchaîne. Gérin attend toujours une option. Contraint de lancer le disque long. C'est la mêlée. Qui a attrapé le disque? C'est Flux. Belle défensive. Beaucoup de trafic très très lourd. Numéro 72 en possession du disque. Amanda Ho remet à sa collègue. Le numéro 2, Jennifer Beck. Now, Flux. Threatening, nice scuba pass, reaching out to NSC. NSC looking for an option. Resets to number 8. Thomas Kuhn. NSC, number 66. Finding his teammate. Number 3, Ray C. Hammer. And it's defended by Max Guy. Great battle in the air. But Max Guy having the last word. Qold still looking to confirm their hold on offense. Very, very tight man-to-man defense or person-to-person defense by Flux, forcing Qold to throw it long in desperation. So still Flux defense being extremely tight. But still they cannot convert. They haven't been able so far. Great reach in the air by number 81, Bobby Stanford. NSC resetting to number 8, Kuhn. Call on the play. It was a travel call. Disc is live. Kuhn with the disc, wearing number 8. Forced backhand. Going break side. Reaching out to number 72, Amanda Ho. Lots of pressure by Qold on defense. Desperate effort to shut down Flux. Disc movement. Dark jerseys being only a few yards away from scoring their third point in a row. This would be their second break point in this first half. Mixed Master Division Championship, playing for the gold medal. NSC. Oh! Belle anticipation de la joueuse de Qold, la numéro 6. Lebel, si je ne me trompe pas, Lydia Lebel, effectivement, là, qui a vu l'opportunité et qui s'est dit, tiens, allez, on va aller bloquer ce 10, donner l'opportunité à mon équipe de reprendre ses sens. Et c'est un temps d'arrêt appelé par Qold, qui visiblement en arrache à sortir de sa propre zone de points. Et qui devront trouver des solutions, puisque les 2-3 dernières possessions, là, ça a été compliqué. Ils ont été contraints de dégager le disque à mi-chemin. Et c'est à chaque fois, c'est Flux là, qui a su bloquer les passes en hauteur. Alors, vraiment, la défensive de Flux là, qui cause beaucoup de problèmes à la ligne offensive québécoise.
Oui, je pense que les deux équipes, Flux puis aussi Québec City, ça fait dur un petit peu, je dirais. Les deux équipes, il y a des possessions dans l'end zone, puis il y a aussi beaucoup de des fautes, puis des marchés aussi. Fait que là, je pense que le temps d'arrêt de Qold, c'était vraiment bien pris. Puis on verra qu'est-ce qu'ils verront, parce que c'est quand même proche d'une point très longue. Ça fait un beau 5-10 minutes quand même.
En effet, un point marathon, là.
Ouais.
Belle pression défensive de Flux. Ils n'ont pas su en tirer ce parti jusqu'à date et rendons crédit quand même à la résilience défensive de la ligne de Qold, là, qui vraiment à chaque fois a su stopper Flux avant de se faire infliger un autre point bris dans ce début de... Encore une fois, le disque est dans les airs. On a vraiment rapproché le stack. C'est Paradis qui s'est démarqué. On est maintenant à mi-chemin. Max Guy, le gaucher, enchaîne à Dion le long de la ligne. Dion revient dans le terrain. Dion cherche une option en soutien. Belle marque de la part de Flux. Max Guy qui attrape ce disque et c'est confirmé. Finalement, Qold inscrit le 3e point de ce match. Sécurise une courte avance d'un seul petit point. La ligne offensive qui, après plusieurs revirements et un point qui s'éternisait, finalement converti après s'être bien adapté. So we've seen Qold were really struggling with their vertical stack, could not get anything happen, so they just called a timeout. They switched to an horizontal stack, which allowed a lot of great spacing in the back, so they were able to feed Hélène Paradis up to midfield, and after that they got some momentum and nice blady flick from Dion, reaching out to Maxi, which Flux still find a way to challenge. So Flux is really putting a lot of pressure on defense.
Yeah, and they're both well matched, I think. Overall, this is like stayed very close point for point, and we're still at the beginning of this game. I think there's a lot of talent on both teams, and you could tell in that last marathon point that we were just in that no one's giving any freebies or free passes. They're very person-to-person defense and keeping it really tight, and you can hear it in the crowd with the defense ready to go. So
lots of players gathering around the field to witness this Mixed Master final game. So most of these players have ended their tournament earlier this afternoon, but still cannot get enough of Ultimate, enjoying what has been so far a very well fought Ultimate game, displaying Flux from Alberta in dark jerseys against Qold from Quebec City. Oh, great late outbid. There was some bumping there. Bordelot leaving all on the line, but unfortunately bumped the Flux player, and it seems pretty painful. So Bordelot is still down, but it seems okay. Looking at the unfortunate damage he might have caused to his opponent. Too bad. Of course, defense bid, you always want to achieve them, but nobody wants to injure his opponent. So unfortunately, that's the output of last bid from Mathieu Bordelot, number 5 from Qold.
Hopefully it'll be okay, though. I think he's got a lot of teammates surrounding him as well. And
still down, and there's like a bad vibe on the field. Nobody talks anymore. It seemed pretty painful at first. The injured player is still down, surrounded by his teammates. At least one player from Qold. So it's a 3-2 game. Both teams have been able to inflict a break point to his opponents. Qold taking a 2-0 lead early in the first half. Flux responding very quickly by aligning 2 points so far. And now Qold with their O-line point, taking a 1-point lead early in this Mixed Master final.
Already pretty entertaining to be watching up here anyways. It's been pretty back and forth, like we've said. It's some really good frisbee we're watching right now, and this is the finals.
Round of applause. The player seems to be standing up with some assistance, at least. Alors, c'est le troisième rendez-vous qu'on complète aujourd'hui, après avoir présenté les deux demi-finales qui ont eu lieu dans la division mix un peu plus tôt aujourd'hui. La première demi-finale qui était une bataille toute québécoise opposant Battleship de Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu à Lab de Montréal. Montréal ayant remporté le match pour un pointage de 15-8. La deuxième demi-finale a été toute ontarienne, Soup, qui s'opposait à Force. Les deux équipes ayant remporté leur match de quart de finale, et Soup, après un début de match, on s'échangeait les points. Soup a tout simplement décollé. Il n'a plus jamais regardé en arrière et a terminé le match avec une avance de 15-7. Il reste encore une quinzaine de minutes de temps à ce match. Alors, une belle victoire de Soup et de Lab. Lab qui a terminé le match dans les 85 minutes prévues à l'agenda. Alors, félicitations aux deux équipes mixtes qui s'affronteront demain. Lab contre Soup, une bataille Québec-Ontario qui promet. Flux feeding Bourget, number 14. Reset, oh, great bid by number 18. Disc is floating. There's a lot of gas on it, but it's still within reach of number 61, Justin Wilkes. And we have a tie game to 3 early in this first half. Mixed Master Division Championship. We're playing for some gold hardware to bring back home.
That was a really good possession by Flux there, especially the put in the end zone. The effort from Qold is that was a good bid for on the defensive end and prior to the injury as well. But we're seeing some good frisbee here. It's a tie game now, so anyone's game.
It is, indeed. And that's what you want. It's a final. You don't want a final to end like 15-3. Well, sometimes it happens, but hey, still, that's not what we can expect so far based on what we've seen so far. 6 points have been scored, 3 on each side. Mon nom est Étienne Fournier. J'ai le plaisir de partager cette web diffusion avec Alicia Racine, une joueuse de l'équipe féminine Stella de la région d'Ottawa, qui a participé au championnat canadien à Edmonton la semaine dernière, où semble-t-il, Mère Nature a fait preuve de certains caprices, particulièrement jeudi et vendredi dernier. Je pense que ça va rentrer dans la légende là, des championnats canadiens.
Bien sûr que oui.
J'en ai entendu parler, je n'étais pas sur place, mais tout porte à croire que c'était vraiment des conditions extrêmement difficiles. Il a venté, il a fait froid, il a plu. Il manquait que la neige Quoi qu'à Edmonton au mois d'août, c'est pas quelque chose qui est impossible. Heureusement, les joueurs ont été épargnés. Et pendant ce temps, Qold. On bouge le 10 de belle façon. Numéro 21, Marianne Pilon, là. Circule le 10. Vraiment au numéro 10. Et maintenant, c'est le numéro 6. Roberge. Ou Lebel, plutôt. Oh, malheureusement, là. Pilon, là, je ne suis pas certain qu'elle s'attendait à cette passe. C'est un revirement pour Flux. With a break opportunity, looking for a second break point in this game, but miscued by between number 2 and number 54. So Jennifer Beck was reaching out to Connie Lee, but no connection, unfortunately. Pilon avec le 10. Elle le remettra en jeu. Alimente le numéro 4, Marianne Roberge. Rapidement, Qold gagne des verges. Maintenant, numéro 79, Pierre-Luc Delagrave. Il y a un appel. C'est de l'obstruction. Remet le disque en jeu rapidement. Delagrave. Il va du côté revers. Oh, mais ça passe. Malheureusement, là, peut-être Delagrave qui a été un peu nonchalant, là, peut-être hésité. Peu importe, revirement. Hennessy putting the disc back into play. Goes flick. It's floating. And it's landing in. Was caught by number 81, I believe. Still another flick in the space. Oh, what a great bid. It was within number 25's reach. Title trap. But could not get a hold or control his landing while trying to catch a disc. Well, try that when you don't know what to do. Just lay out and try to catch a disc. Let me know what's the output. Either my Twitter or my Facebook. Etienne Fournier. Nice defense. Great anticipation. Fred Desbiens. Montreal base player just picking up with Flux. So the 3 women player that has picked up with Flux has traveled to Calgary for a 2-day tournament, which ended up being a 1-day tournament because of the bad weather. They just stopped the playing on the Sunday. Là, c'est le numéro 10 là, qui s'impose là, pour fermer cette opportunité de bris, Alexandre Saint-Onge. C'est toujours 3-3. Le point qui s'étire. Pilon qui remettra le disque en jeu, coincé dans le coin de sa propre zone de points. Cherche une option. Langlois qui tente de se démarquer. Pilon qui rejoint Langlois. Langlois alimente Delagrave. Rapidement. Saint-Onge. Delagrave. Langlois. Pilon qui s'offre en soutien. Langlois va aller contourner sa marque. Opte plutôt pour la passe en soutien. Pilon se change à 10 du côté de Québec. L'obstruction dans la formation. Je crois que c'est Desbiens là, qui a la lourde tâche de couvrir Roberge. Les deux se connaissent très bien. Ça n'en fait pas moins un match-up très intéressant. Langlois pivote. Encore une fois, trouve Pilon. Contact sur la marque. Sans dommage. Pilon. Langlois. Plusieurs passes qui se font, ces deux. Langlois va aller côté bris, contourner sa marque. C'était Roberge, mais il y a eu faute sur la marque. Il a sûrement provoqué le fait que le disque était hors de portée pour Roberge. Le numéro 4. Langlois, un vétéran de la scène du frisbee dans la belle région de Québec. Plusieurs joueurs de l'équipe de Qold faisaient partie de l'équipe Onyx qui a terminé 2e au championnat du monde des clubs à Prague. Il y a déjà de ça une dizaine d'années. Paradis qui s'impose, attaque l'intérieur, alimente Saint-Onge. Rapidement, on enchaîne le Pilon. Pilon, le disque est dans les airs. Ça flotte. Le bel était la cible. Elle a vraiment accéléré le pas là, quand elle a vu que c'était elle la cible, mais malheureusement, c'était hors de portée. Beck, putting the disc in the space. Her teammate, number 25, Trap, was a target, but a little too high. Langlois attaque le côté bris. Delagrave et rejoint Saint-Onge maintenant en milieu de terrain. Alimente Lebel. Lebel passe côté droit. Oh, Roberge qui vient sauver les meubles ici. Alimente Saint-Onge. Saint-Onge. Le gaucher. Delagrave. Delagrave Passe revers. Trouve Pilon. Le point est confirmé. C'est le 4e point de Qold. Oh là là, quel point qui a duré, quel point marathon ici. Là. Et finalement, c'est Qold là, qui sécurise sa possession en offensive. C'est 4-3 avec 36 minutes de jouer déjà.
Déjà 36 minutes. Le but pour Qold. Vraiment, je pense, un marathon. On joue un marathon. Les équipes Flux et Qold se forcent à vraiment travailler. Les deux, c'est 100%. Ça, c'est la finale. On se force. Puis on veut un championnat.
Absolument. C'est le dernier match pour ces deux équipes. C'est la fin de tournoi. Yesterday, I was driving in with Andrew Batcher, which is the competitive director of CUC. And because some people wonder why are we hosting the Mixed Master Final on the Saturday night, and why are we not playing the final on the Sunday, the last day of the tournament, which is very, very good question. And first response from Bachelor, and so he said, well, that's because that's how the rules are written. I said, well, okay, there must be some other reason. And Batcher admitted that, well, there's no real rationale behind that, but I think just from in order to accommodate the master player, you know, many of them have jobs and have families. So when you finish your tournament on a Saturday night, maybe that allows you to come back home late on the Saturday night or early in the Sunday morning, in order to spend a little more time with your family. That, you know, sometimes you have to find a balance, and you have your wife or your husband looking after the kids. And so it's not, there's no official reason, but I believe it makes a lot of sense, being personally a father, so I totally understand that rationale. McLeod with the disc, centering it to number 35. Only Orchard. McLeod again, resetting. Number 8, Kuhn. Thomas Kuhn. McLeod trying to open himself. Will he be able to catch it? No, it lands. McLeod landing hard. He seems in pain. I think it's the shoulder. His right shoulder. Unfortunately, might have just lost his breath also.
And that is a common injury, I would say, in Frisbee when you're bidding, especially in the shoulders, depending on how you land. If the disc is, you know, you're not expecting to bid as well, you're probably not necessarily bidding correctly, and sometimes you're landing really hard on your shoulder. So it's something to be careful about, and also, you know, just to pay attention to once you're playing.
And that's one point we've highlighted in the semi-final lab against Battleship. So Roy, player from Battleship, you know, very athletic guy who still was able to land a smooth layout grab for a point, and it was like he landed so smoothly, so great technique. That's something, you know, some people have it intuitively, but how intuitive is it to throw yourself on the ground? You know, you got to tell me how intuitive it is. So there's some technique behind that. So you got to learn it, you got to practice, and, you know, one of the funniest drill out there in the ultimate community is a layout drill. So you got to do it, and indeed, if you can do it while the ground is smooth or wet, so it kind of, you know, absorb the shock. But, you know, it's always a fun drill, but let's be honest, a quite painful one.
For sure.
In the meantime, Qold en possession. Pilon qui attaque le côté bris veut rejoindre sa coéquipière, la numéro 33, Marie-Pierre Huot. Mais c'est un peu court, mais je crois qu'il y a eu contact là, alors que Pilon cherchait à contourner la marque imposée par Marjolaine Bourget, la joueuse montréalaise là, qui joue avec Calgary. Mais non, il n'y a pas de faute. Ça sera possession Flux with Kuhn with the disc. Being forced flick, going around for a reset. Number 10, but number 27, le numéro 27, qui dit non, ça ne passe pas, Fanny Rouleau. Belle anticipation de Rouleau là, pour fermer la passe de son adversaire, là, la numéro 10, qui tentait d'aller contourner là, Rhiannon Kuhn. Belle action défensive ici de l'équipe québécoise en quête d'un deuxième point bris dans cette première mi-temps. Ce championnat canadien, Master Mix, édition 2019, Pilon, qui trouve son coéquipier, numéro 18, David. Petit pas attaque la ligne, Bordelot avec le disque. Alimente Petit pas enchaîne à Gérin, 89, il y a un appel. Un appel qui semble être de l'obstruction, si je ne me trompe. On reprendra le disque sans plus tarder. Gérin, le long de la ligne, à quelques verges du point. Brick. On retourne en arrière, Petit pas avec le disque. Alimente le numéro 33, Marie-Pierre Huot. On est patient du côté de Québec. On connaît l'importance de ce point bris potentiel. Gérin ici, attrape la passe de Pilon. Et voilà, c'est dans la zone et c'est confirmé! Bordelot qui inscrit le 5e point de Qold. Donne à son équipe 2 petits points d'avance. 2e point bris de l'équipe québécoise. C'est 5-3 pour Qold.
Cette possession-là, la belle défense par Qold. Puis beaucoup de temps, on peut voir que Qold, on est côté personne à personne sur la défense contre Flux. Flux, présentement, regarde un peu plus fatigué. On a vu avant, il y avait plein de joueurs de Flux qui étaient juste essoufflés. Alors, peut-être un time-out ou à juste se reposer un petit peu, boire de l'eau, and come back to the game and try to get something going.
As Alicia was very well mentioning it, like looking at the body language of Flux, expressing a little more fatigue. It's been a tough weekend. Tons of Ultimate have been played. Tons of tough games have been won by both of these teams that are still undefeated here in Brampton. So looking to maintain their undefeated record. NSC at his own brick mark, flicking it to number 24, McKenna, Eric McKenna.
And we're seeing a lot of calls in this game, but what's nice is the spirit is there. These players are experienced and they're at the master's level, so they're aware a bit more of the rules. They've been around for a bit in terms of that, and you can see the nice conversation that we have here with any of the pick calls or the foul calls that have already occurred in the game. So that's really good.
The Master Division has a reputation of, numerous call for some reason. We don't have any stats to support that reputation. It's a perception that personally I would have tendency to believe into. Nonetheless, great show here in Brampton, Ontario. Qold leading 5-3 against Flux from Calgary. At stake, a gold medal and the opportunity to take the lead in putting together Team Canada for Worlds 2020. NSC. Nice disc movement, going left and right, gaining a yardage. Kuhn with the disc, exchanging with 61. Wilkes. And it's being caught. Almost dropped by number 5, I believe. Yeah, number 5, but still, she gets a hold on it. Alexa Lavergne, another Montreal base player, which score Flux 4th point. We have a 1-point game. Flux trailing by 1, but there's still some discussion going on. I think they claim that Lavergne might have dropped the disc, but Lavergne argues that no, I had full possession of that disc before it reached to the ground. So, some discussion going with the referees, and we are confirming it's a point. So observers are very well positioned to judge if that disc reached the ground before it was fully controlled by Lavergne. And Lavergne and Max Guy, they know each other very, very well. So teasing one another. Lavergne seems to says, well, I caught it with my little finger. Can you believe it? Can you do that, Max Guy? He said, no, I don't do that. But I run pretty fast.
And sometimes we catch the frisbee in the weirdest ways, and we're still able to catch it. The fumbles in the air, the behind the back, through the legs, the things that I've seen already is pretty impressive. I think as you keep playing frisbee, you tend to find ways that you catch the disc where you never thought you could catch it.
We've seen earlier in this tournament another game displaying Qold, where Mathieu Bordelot made an amazing layout D to block the disc, and the disc just fumbled and landed while Bordelot was like flat on the floor. The disc landed on his back, didn't touch the ground, so the disc was still live. So really his opponent just picked it up and just flicked it to the end zone for a score, and Bordelot just said, oh, what happened? I don't know. But still, whatever, the disc needs to touch the ground in order to be a turnover. Otherwise, it's still live. Disc is floating. 2 white jerseys, 2 dark jerseys. And the dark jerseys are taking over this one. Bordelot was one of the targets, so was number 27 for Qold, Fanny Rouleau. But very well defended by Flux, who are playing an extremely tight person-person defense, so putting a ton of pressure on Qold O-line. Disc is moving, earning some yardage. Number 43, it seemed down, but no contested, McInnes. Number 2, Beck with the disc, trapped along the sideline, looking for an option. Lefty, there was 2 players. There was some contact, but I don't think there will be any call. Bordelot just going on the blind side of number 43, McInnes. No damage.
Definitely both good efforts there in that possession.
Disque est dans les airs. Ça sera rabattu ou plutôt intercepté par le numéro 81. Stanley Ford. Great reading. Great poaching. Denying number 33's long cut from the women player Marie-Pierre Huot. Marie-Pierre Huot was a victim of a collision in the semi-final. I think she received a forefront on her nose. There was a significant amount of blood, unfortunately, but she seemed very well. She seemed to have recovered. McLeod with the disc. Going long to Beck. Grabbing it before it reaches the ground, but Qold, opponent, claims that it touched the ground before Beck could get a hold on it. Very, very tight call. We can't tell from where we are. It's a good thing because we're not observers. Observers were standing by. Pretty sure that we're going to reach out to them. We're playing for a gold medal here. Unsure that everything is all right. So I guess it will be contested and return back to McLeod, who is doing what he does the best, putting the disc 70 yards away from where you are. You want it backhand, you want it flick, he can do it both sides. McLeod also being involved with the whiff diff in the communication department, so very involved into the international ultimate community.
pretty impressive how far he can get that disc as well.
He's going upwind.
Yes.
So, very impressive. Flux, disc is floating. McInnes grasping this disc in the air, scoobering it to McLeod. Some contact. Gérin incidentally ran into McLeod, apologizing. TMF to Gérin. That's something that could have been avoided, at least from an observer standpoint, and I would tend to agree with the observers. Tons of intensity, but still, you got to be careful. It's a non-contact sport for those who are not familiar with the sports. McLeod going around, finding Beck. Oh, nice grasp by number 54. Great focus, tons of pressure on her. Huot was standing by. Flux going up, looking to score. A break point. But I think it was deed by number 71. Pierre-Benoit Allard.
McInnes wasn't running too hard onto that disc, and I don't know if he got caught up earlier. But then the defense were able to come in and get a better positioning on the disc.
I think it's a timeout call by Qold. Alors, Qold qui appelle un temps d'arrêt, un point qui s'étire. Là, c'est chaudement bataillé par les deux équipes. Là, autant la formation albertaine là, qui vraiment joue une défensive là, vraiment extrêmement intense. Et là, Qold qui se défend très, très bien, tente de trouver des solutions. La ligne offensive de Qold là, qui jusqu'à date a été brisée qu'une seule fois, mais qui vraiment doit batailler pour chaque petit espace sur le terrain. Le Flux qui vraiment inflige une défensive de tous les instants.
La participation de les deux, les femmes puis les hommes, sur Qold, on voit que toutes les personnes à personne sur la défense, l'offense, c'est vraiment propre aussi. Les filles travaillent sur la défense, puis on peut le voir.
En effet, Jennifer Beck a eu quand même plusieurs touches de disque. Il y a aussi Amanda Ho qui s'est impliquée, sans compter Marjolaine Bourget. Alexa Laverne qui a inscrit aussi un point. Alors, belle présence du côté féminin de Flux. On vous rappelle que c'est la première édition des championnats canadiens avec la nouvelle règle internationale qui impose aux équipes d'alterner le ratio homme-femme à chaque 2 points. Donc, pratico-pratique, qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? Si on joue le premier point avec un ratio de 4 hommes, 3 femmes, on devra jouer aussi le deuxième point avec ce ratio. Et rendu au troisième point, on devra alterner, donc ça sera 3 femmes et 4 hommes. Donc, on doit alterner et ainsi de suite. Là, il y a eu contact, le bord de l'eau là, qui bataillait pour ce disque. Il y a eu un contact évident alors que les deux joueurs là, allaient pour le disque. Ils n'allaient pas exactement dans la même direction. Là. Alors, Bordelot qui était la cible, et le numéro 81, là, Bobby Staniford, qui est arrivé un peu en rattrapage, n'avait pas exactement le même angle de course. Heureusement, les deux joueurs sont debout, un petit peu ébranlés, mais encore capables de discuter pour voir comment sera tranchée cette dernière action. Les observers discutent de leur côté. Je crois que ça se terminera par une décision des observers.
Oui, je pense que des fois, durant des appels de même, évidemment, on peut faire qu'est-ce qu'on voudrait faire comme appel, mais des fois, on peut pas voir tout. Puis, dans ce cas, c'est difficile à voir s'il y avait beaucoup plus de contacts que Qold pensait de rouleau.
Est-ce qu'on aurait pu éviter ce contact? Dans le fond, c'est toujours le principe. Il ne faut pas aller au disque à tout prix. Il faut évidemment éviter le contact autant lorsqu'on attaque le disque qu'une fois qu'on atterrit sur le sol. C'est le principe général. Et Bordelot, là, qui est un peu plus tôt dans le match, est d'entrer en collision avec un joueur là, de Flux et le joueur a dû se retirer du match, à tout le moins temporairement. Je ne suis pas certain que le numéro du joueur qui s'est blessé. Et là, par la suite, elle fait un plongeon là, contre, je crois que c'était McInnes. Et il y a eu contact. Les deux joueurs se sont relevés, mais il y a quand même eu de la physicalité ici. Bordelot, là, encore une fois, qui est impliqué dans une contact aérien. On connaît, c'est un joueur physique. Il a un gros gabarit, il est costaud.
Oui.
Et pensez-moi l'expression, il est capable d'en prendre aussi. Mais n'empêche qu'il faut demeurer dans les limites de l'esprit du sport. Et Bordelot connaît très bien ses limites. Alors, ça sera possession Qold à la porte des points. Qold qui cherche à confirmer sa possession offensive en inscrivant un point. Oh, malheureusement, c'est un peu un manque de précision, là, malgré le bel effort de la joueuse de Qold. Je crois que c'est Massé qui a plongé pour attraper ce disque, mais n'a pas réussi.
Oui, c'était Massé. Bel effort sur la ligne, très proche.
McLeod feeds McInnes. Centering the disc. Feeding Amanda Ho. Going break side. Intercepted by Qold. Numéro 71. Alors, maintenant qu'il y a le disque, alimente Bordelot, le gaucher. Vraiment soutien alors. Feinte. Sa marque qui a mordu à la feinte. Ouvre ainsi le jeu. Bordelot tente d'aller du côté bris, contourner sa marque. Cherche une option, commence à se faire tard. Le disque est dans les airs. Gérin tente de l'attraper. Oh là, deuxième effort de Gérin. McLeod veillait au grain. Et là, Gérin, je pense qu'il va appeler... il va appeler quelque chose à McLeod là, qui a sans aucun doute touché au disque. Je crois que touché Gérin. Était-il à l'intérieur du terrain? Je crois qu'on peut se permettre d'en douter. Et là, la foule là, la foule à tout le moins du côté opposé du terrain, qui est probablement la moins bonne perspective là, qu'on peut avoir de cette dernière action, qui ne semble pas d'accord avec l'appel qu'aurait fait Gérin. Et on discute avec les observateurs, vraiment dans le coin éloigné de la zone de points, là, vraiment Qold qui cherche à confirmer un 6e point, confirmer les 2 bris d'avance qu'ils ont. Ça fait déjà près d'1 heure là, que le match est entamé. On est en mode finale ici. On joue pour une médaille d'or. Ce championnat canadien d'Ultimate édition 2019, c'est la division Mix Master. Beaucoup d'actions jusqu'à maintenant. Et finalement, les observateurs ont des tranchées. Ça sera possession Flux, donc l'appel de faute de Gérin. Il était probablement à l'extérieur du terrain, qui a fait que c'est un revirement. McLeod qui centre le disque, McInnes. Debian now with the disc, going flick, break side, but just a little too much gas. Flux receiver could not handle it. He blaming himself. It was a great cut-in. Numéro 24. Marie-Laurence Laberge. Le disque est dans les airs. Le numéro 27 attrape le disque. On confirme que c'est à l'intérieur. On attend la confirmation. Oui! Qold qui inscrit un 6e point. Confirme son 2 points d'avance. C'est la numéro 27 vraiment qui a fait preuve d'une belle agilité, d'une belle, ce qu'on appellerait en anglais field awareness, Fanny. Rouleau là, qui vraiment su garder les pieds à l'intérieur du disque tout en attrapant le disque. Quel beau focus de Rouleau sur cette dernière action qui finalement confirme plutôt à Qold son 2 points d'avance.
Oui, finalement. Comme on disait avant, un marathon de game. Les match-ups de McLeod puis Gérin, c'est impressionnant. On voit ça tout le match. Aussi, l'énergie de Qold. Déjà, présentement, après ce long temps sur la piste. C'est bien déservé d'eux autres à avoir le point.
Une tonne d'énergie. Et l'avantage lorsqu'on assiste à un match en finale, lorsque c'est très très serré, ben, c'est qu'on n'est pas restreint à 90 minutes. Le match se résolvera à 120 minutes avec une sirène de hard cap qui sonnera à la 105e minute. So we're in the final state of mind here. So it's not a 90-minute game we'll be attending. It's 120 minutes, so 2 hours. And we've already played the first 60 minutes of this game. 6-4 favoring Qold. Disc is floating. It's far. It's floating. It's in the air. And it's being denied by number 4, Robert, who stood there. Very well read this disc.
And that's the other thing. They're putting the disc in the end zone, but Flux is covered. The looks are there, however, they're not open enough to get a good position in the end zone.
To your point, there was 2 white jerseys, defending this handle, while there was only 1 dark jersey. So it's very, very challenging. So there was some pushing action. Now it's Flux turn to get a TMF. So second blue card granted in this final. First one was granted to Gérin after bumping into McLeod, and now it's number 35 from Flux, Annalie Archard, who was blamed for pushing her opponent, number 4 Roberge.
It's getting a little bit more chippy and physical.
Let's hope it will stay only chippy and not ugly.
That's right.
Kuhn feeding NSC. Haven't seen those two in a while because the last point has lasted for so long. Still 2 impactful players on the field. Disc, Blady-ish, very well caught and read by Flux receiver. Resetting to number 10. Kuhn. Rhiannon Kuhn. It's the other Kuhn now, number 8. Disc is floating. Lots of play. Great read by number 61. Just beating the odds and skying everybody in order to land. Justin Wilkes making this game a 1-point game.
That's a good momentum build for Flux. Like we said a little bit, Qold was just taking advantage a bit in the last few points, even though they were longer points. That's a great grab and great positioning by Flux to able to get that jump ball. And there's been a few today that have been pretty difficult, and we've had some people injured. So this was a very clean jump ball with not too much physicality, and it resulted in a point for Flux.
So far, Qold O-line was broken only once, but they stood on the field for very, very long points. So at one point, it's got to suck some energy of your O-line. So how impactful will those long point being as of now and further we go in the game? And this game, as we mentioned, is intended to be played for 120 minutes. So it's a 2-hour game at the end of a tournament. And now your O-line is being very, very solicited and tons of pressure on your O-line. And let's give all the credit to Flux, which are playing extremely tight man-to-man or person-to-person defense. McLeod with, guess what, another amazing pull throw, which just land out of bounds, unfortunately. Gérin qui prend le disque pour le remettre en jeu au point de brick. Il devrait paraître 25 verges après la zone de points. Sont un cadeau de à peu près 25 verges lorsque le disque atterrit à l'extérieur. Gérin, défendu par McLeod. Gérin cherche une option, commence à se faire tard. Le disque est dans les airs, Bordelot. Et la cible de cette passe. Et non, Bordelot ne réussit pas à contrôler ce disque. Là, il va s'en vouloir là-dessus parce que Il était très bien démarqué. Le disque était à sa portée. Et malheureusement, n'a pu en garder le contrôle.
Eh boy, c'était vraiment proche d'avoir un point pour Qold.
NSC responding back, throwing it long. Some bumping, but still. Number 3 keeps a hold of it. Ray C to number 54. Action going on. Resetting, finding NSC. NSC flicking it. It's floating. Guess what? And, Bordelot diving to defend this disc. There was a call. Once again, involving Bordelot.
Bordelot has been implicated in a lot of these jump balls or defensive positioning. His physicality definitely has been hard to judge for Flux. I think that's how we honor Frisbee. The recognition to be able to call something that is either appropriate and it was a good defensive play versus dangerous.
Bordelot seemed to me like inside versus where this was coming from. He was a little late versus the receiver. So he made a bid going with his left-hand side, but still there was some body contact. The Flux player trying to confirm his possession inside of the disc path. So there was some contact for sure. The two players shaking hands. So I guess whatever the output, that's the proper way to settle it. And it will be contested going back. So NSC initiated that throw very deep in Qold's end zone.
It was looking close to the end half of the end zone line too, so if it was caught, could have been contested in terms
Good
of
observation.
In or out.
McLeod resetting to NSC. NSC blading it cross field, and it's confirmed. What a gutsy throw by NSC, granting his team with a break point. We have a tie game at 6 here in Brampton. Mixed Master Final. We're playing for some gold hardware to bring back home. Wow, what a blade by NSC.
The risky throws are coming out to play. It's a tie game now, and they're looking at those throws that may not be beautiful flicks or backhands in the end zone, and whatever comes to be open. He was very open in that corner there, in the left-hand corner, and it was able to be completed. So that's a good break for them.
There's a timeout call by Qold. And what impresses me in the NSC's throws, like he threw that blade like at stall 1.5, I believe. Like no hesitation, just receiving the dish pass from McLeod and just fire that blade. And not a hammer, a blade. So impressive handling skill by NSC, making this game a tie one at 6. Qold qui vient d'appeler un temps d'arrêt. Et vraiment la ligne offensive de Qold là, qui est vraiment mise au défi, là, challengée par la défensive de Flux là, qui met une pression de tous les instants. We have been playing for 70 minutes for this gold medal game featuring Flux from Calgary, Alberta. In the dark jerseys. In the white jerseys, it's Qold with a Q from Quebec City. Day 3 of Canadian Ultimate Championship featuring the mixed and the master mixed division. We are now attending the master mix final. We had 2 great semi-finals in the mixed division earlier today, where Lab from Montreal and Sue from Ontario have earned themselves a ticket to play the final tomorrow, while Force will be playing for the bronze medal against Battleship from Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu in Quebec. Pilon! Oh, le disque est bas, c'est trop bas. Paradis était la cible, mais revirement rapide là, avec Kuhn in possession, scoobering it in the open space. But I'd say at least 5 yards out of reach. So Kuhn maybe a little too enthusiastic in this last attempt. Nonetheless, Qold on their own goal line. Saint-Onge. Saint-Onge cherche une option. Trouve Pilon. C'est maintenant Max Guy. Saint-Onge, le numéro 10. À Max Guy encore une fois. On s'échange les politesses avec Pilon. Max Guy qui attaque la ligne. Le gaucher alimente très bien son coéquipier, le numéro 9. NSI qui appelle un marché, je crois, mais non, ça restera dans les mains du numéro 9, Vincent Marquis.
Le vent commence à être plus vite. On voit les drapeaux qui sont de l'autre bord.
En effet. Oh, Marquis là, qui fait une petite passe là, je crois que c'est à Allard, mais plutôt Dion, numéro 47. Et là, est-ce que ça a touché le sol? Ça a été attrapé avant. Dur à dire de notre perspective. On fera appel encore une fois aux observers qui ont été extrêmement occupés durant ce match. Ils ont été souvent sollicités. Peu des appels faits ont pu être résolus entre les deux joueurs impliqués, 2 joueurs ou 2 joueuses impliquées. Déjà 2 cartons ont été distribués, un à chacune des équipes. Des team misconduct. Donc, on attend la confirmation des observers et ils ne peuvent trancher. Alors, ça retournera à Marquis, qui aura une autre opportunité de compléter sa passe. On devra confirmer maintenant où on a été rendu dans le compte sur la marque. On remettra le disque au compte de 4. Près de 75 minutes jouées dans cette finale sur un maximum de 120. Oh, belle lecture ici. Nice reading by number 81, Staniford, who is busting long, defended by Max Guy, but Flux could not feed him. Number 54 with the disc, Connie Lee, resetting to Staniford. 1 player down. It's a Flux player. Is it a cramp? Looks like it. His leg staying up in the air. Dion, his opponent, looking at him. Doesn't know what to do. But still some assistance from his teammates. Actually 6 of his teammates looking to, I believe it's Kuhn, who's down, number 8. Getting up on its almost on its own with a little support from 2 of his teammates. Going outside, 1 leg jumping, the other one standing in the air. Hopefully nothing too harmful. I guess that's pretty typical of the last game after a tough weekend of ultimate. Legs are tired, might be a little dehydrated. Haven't drank enough water in those 3 days. It was a stall down, but Staniford trying to throw the disc away. His hand landed in Max Guy's face. Max Guy will claim that he called stalled down prior to the disc being thrown. Staniford apologizing to Max Guy for hurting him, but Max Guy will recover. A little spitting will fix it.
Always helps. A little spitting always helps.
Just get that little taste of blood in your mouth. That's ultimate. Contested stall down. NSC now with the disc. Looking for an option. Still, disc is in the air. Bordelot, I believe, was standing by. Quickly feeding Pilon. Pilon to Saint-Onge. Saint-Onge. Oh, Bordelot était franchement démarqué long, mais on a hésité du côté. Là, Marquis là, qui prend possession du 10 et c'est un revirement. So NSC banded to take the disc, but he did not. So Bordelot claims that he cannot do that. So he was in a position to pick up the disc, so he has to do it. So disc is live. McLeod will pick it up. Flux looking to take the lead for the first time in this first half, but calls a timeout. We're still in first half of this Master Mix final featuring Flux from Calgary, Alberta against Qold with a Q from Quebec City.
Well, this is a good timeout. It's been 6-6 for a bit now. I think there's a few injuries that have incurred from both teams. Like you mentioned, it's a long tournament, it's a long weekend. You're dehydrated, muscles start to cramp up and hurt. I think now the best thing for both teams would be to play smart. Putting in full sprints when you need to, being more agile and making sure that you're paying attention on where you're cutting and what you're doing in terms of your job on the field. And this will help the teams overall conserve a bit of their energy, which may help coming down to the last minutes in the game eventually when we come down to it, because like you mentioned earlier, this is a really long game.
We've seen many things in this game. Layout bid on defense, on offense, long plays, short plays, 2 TMFs, tons of turnovers, tons of calls also. Observers have been very, very, very busy in this gold medal game featuring the Mixed Master Division here in Brampton, Quebec against Alberta. What's at stake is not only a gold medal, but the chance to represent Canada in the World Championship in 2020. Fred Desbiens, Montreal pickup player, feeding NSC. NSC going flick around his mark, and Beck lands with the disc. There was a call. We're confirming on the left-hand side, but the observers on the right-hand side has not raised her hand. So I think Paradis claims that she was victim of a pick, and that's why Beck was all by herself. That's at least my reading of it. Might be wrong.
We will find out. Maybe the observers will implicate themselves a bit more. It looks like both players are having a good discussion on the possession, and whether they or not they choose to implicate the observers, we'll find out.
So while this discussion is going on, we'd like to remind you that if you'd like to take part of Team Canada for 2020 World Championship, you have until September 2nd to complete your application. So please circle this date on your calendar, or virtually at least circle it on your whatever electronic calendar. So September 2nd is the deadline to submit your application for all divisions if you intend to try out for Team Canada 2020. Alors, on profite de l'occasion là, pour rappeler à tous ceux qui désirent prendre part à Équipe Canada pour les championnats du monde en 2020 l'année prochaine. Ils ont jusqu'au 2 septembre pour compléter l'application, et ça pour toutes les divisions. Alors, on vous invite à suivre tous les détails sur le site de Ultimate Canada. NSC looking to reach to McLeod, but Maxime Guy veille au grain. Max Guy pivote, alimente, pilon. Max Guy, encore une fois, on bouge bien 10, Marquis au paradis. Ici, il y a eu contact, là, c'est NSI. Ça semble être tout à fait incidentel, évidemment. N'empêche, Paradis a été quelque peu ébranlé sur cette séquence. On est à mi-terrain. Un arrêt de jeu, un autre. Encore une bonne foule ici, là, au terrain numéro 2. À Brampton. Un superbe site pour un championnat canadien. Des terrains d'une très, très belle qualité. Un excellent support de la ville de Brampton aussi, du point de vue logistique. Très, très collaboratif. Paradis. Alimente Saint-Onge. Saint-Onge qui met le disque à Max Guy. Max Guy qui l'attrape sur la ligne. Cherche à convertir. Alimente Lebel. Lebel qui doit sauter pour attraper ce disque. Et le point est... Attendez un instant. Oui! C'est confirmé. La numéro 6, Lydia Lebel, alimentée de Max Guy, qui redonne une avance d'un court petit point dans cette finale Master Division Mix ici au championnat canadien. C'est 7-6 pour Qold. On s'échange coup pour coup sur ce terrain. Une finale chaudement disputée. Max Guy qui s'est bien démarqué ici, qui a tenté là, d'attraper le disque en sautant pour atterrir, dans l'espoir d'atterrir dans la zone et d'inscrire le point, mais il a atterri sur la ligne. Les observers veillent au grain. Max Guy n'a même pas hésité à remettre le disque en jeu et a immédiatement alimenté Lebel, qui a dû faire preuve là, de beaucoup de focus sur le disque parce que le disque était au-dessus d'elle. Ça flottait. Il y avait des chandails foncés alentour d'elle. En plus du vent. Donc, Max Guy qui n'a pas rendu la vie facile à Lebel, mais Lebel a été résiliente.
Bien sûr que oui. Les deux équipes, après une game qui continue d'être coup en coup, Qold prend l'avance, bien joué, belle attrape à la belle, au end zone.
Alors, c'est 7-6, mais compte tenu du temps qu'on a déjà passé à jouer, là, près d'1h30, là, sur 120 minutes, c'est la pause à la mi-temps. This is our halftime break, even though the score is only at 7, but since we're almost 90 minutes into this game, we'll take a short break and be right back in a few minutes.
You and your family are diverse and unique. Our experienced optometrists and staff at Kodak Lens Vision Center focus on providing a personalized and unique experience to exceed all of your visual needs. You and your family are diverse and unique. Our experienced optometrists and staff at Kodak Lens Vision Center focus on providing a personalized and unique experience to exceed all of your visual needs.
On est de retour. We are back after this halftime. Qold leading 7-6. The white shirts over the dark jerseys. So tons of action, tons of call, tons of great action by both teams. So in the halftime, there's an observer who came to us just advising that there has been a spirit timeout taken in extension of the 5-minute halftime, so making a 7-minute break in order to ensure everybody's mindset is okay with playing Ultimate the way it should be played. So with a great spirit, so good sportsmanship. So there was an extra 2 minutes taken off this halftime. So, and when there's a spirit timeout taken through a game, well, you extend the game length by an extra 2 minutes. So instead of 120 minutes, we'll be playing for 122 minutes. Bordelot qui intercepte cette passe. C'était destiné au numéro 61, le Wilkes. Bordelot veillé au grain. Numéro 25, Harvey. Luc Harvey qui échange à 10 avec Petit Pas. Et un appel là. Another injured player. Deep in the vertical stacks. So I did not see what happened, but she seems to have been received a hit in the face.
So if there was a pick call, there could have been a chance that she got hit from her opponent trying to get to the disc, or hit by another player. Hopefully she's okay though.
Ryan and Kuhn getting off the field on her own 2 feet. Still a little shaken. She's being replaced by, I believe, number 72, Amanda Ho. Qold. Contact sur la marque. C'est Laverne là, qui vient de accidentellement bousculer la berge après qu'elle se soit démarquée à l'intérieur. Petit Pas maintenant avec le disque. Essaie d'aller contourner la marque de NSI. Et il y a eu contact. Un autre appel. Petit Pas. Avec Harvey qui attaque la ligne. Oh, là, c'est bien rabattu. McLeod denying this up-the-line pass. McLeod or NSC will put the disc back into play. Flux looking to tie this game to 7. NSC to McLeod. McLeod going around. Finding NSC. NSC flicking it into space. Targeting number 35. Annalie Orchard, but out of reach. Even though Orchard was pretty open in the space, but still just out of reach.
I don't think she was also ready to catch the disc. The angle she was coming in, she had to turn her body. She wasn't able to see where it was floating. If she had a better positioning, she might have been able to get there a bit quicker.
Harvey feeding Bordelot. Very tightly guarded by number 61. Wilkes. Petit Pas. Appel. Je crois que c'est plutôt de l'obstruction là, dans la formation verticale là, que pratique actuellement Qold. On joue 4 femmes, 3 hommes sur le terrain. Le disque est dans les airs. Oh, la numéro 27 là, qui s'impose. Fanny Rouleau encore qui gagne une bataille aérienne contre son adversaire. Là. Elle avait un avantage de grandeur évident. Rouleau qui attaque la ligne et qui attrape ce disque alimenté par Roberge. Et c'est un point pour Qold qui prennent une courte avance. 8-6 en ce début de deuxième demi.
Amanda Ho made it a lot harder for Rouleau to catch the disc in the end zone. As soon as she came in to replace her injured player or teammate, she was person to person right on her tail. Rouleau did a really good job at using her size, and you can tell in the first disc that she caught and then also the second disc to convert to a score. So that was very well done.
that point opening the second half was a break point by Qold. Now taking a 2-point lead, which the last time we've seen that was very, very early in the first half, where Qold have scored the first 2 points. But Flux responded right away, scoring the following 2 points. So we see Brun Charland, Qold's coach. He has spent a lot of his time on the other side of the field. For some reason decided to come spend some time on this side of the field, maybe to get a new perspective, or maybe not, simply not to have the sun in his face. Qold pulling, NSC asking for his teammate to get open. 43, McInnes. NSC again, going around the mark. Stuck on the sideline, going nice around, reaching out to Amanda Ho. Amanda Ho, now 43, McInnes. Max Guy, laying it out, but there's a foul call. Number 35, Orchard, says that Max Guy was a little upset at first, but now just calming down, reaching out for the observers. Orchard claiming she was fouled. She had that disc in her reach. Max Guy says, no, that was a clean defense. Max Guy smiling, laughing, good spirit. So, very tight call. Even the observers didn't know, so it goes back to number 43, McInnes. Great bid by Max Guy, great effort. Very tight. Even the observers didn't know what happened, so just need to figure out what was the stall at. Langlois discussing with McInnes, so goes back.
Max Guy avait un bel effort là, pour la défense. En résultat, une faute.
Beck with the disc, stuck on the sideline, pivoting well, looking for some option. What a battle. NSC and Saint-Onge not granting an inch of one another. Saint-Onge really sticking to NSC, denying the resets. NSC calling a foul, getting a little too physical. Beck going around Robert Mark. NSC once again in possession, finding Ho, but could not keep a hold on this. Pilon is gone, going long, but no one there to pick up the disc. Langlois now runs. Pilon coming in, getting herself free. Halfway the field, putting it long, it's floating. Robert or Labelle is the target. Number 6, few yards away from the 9 point for Qold. Saint-Onge maintenant avec le disque. Alimente Paradis. Paradis, il y a beaucoup de circulation devant Paradis. C'est Max Guy qui se démarque. À 3 verges à la zone de point. On attaque la ligne. Sans succès. Max Guy trouve Pilon. Oh, il y avait beaucoup de circulation. On attend la confirmation des observateurs. Voilà le point de Qold. Le 9e point. 3 points séparent maintenant les deux équipes. Oh là là, quel début de deuxième demi de Qold là, qui vraiment se bat bec et ongle pour ce point. C'est vraiment Qold là, qui a une présence extrêmement physique et intense en défensive. Les deux équipes là, qui s'échangent coup pour coup, particulièrement au niveau du pointage. Là, mais là, Qold là, qui vient de prendre une option sur ce qui pourrait être une victoire potentielle, mais il reste encore près d'une vingtaine de minutes à ce match. Parce qu'il y a eu un temps d'arrêt, time-out call by Flux, if I'm not mistaken.
And that was a well-deserved point by Qold. I think Max Guy, despite the foul, his efforts were well-deserved. And I think that Qold is showing and demonstrating a lot of patience and that they really want to win this thing. Not to say the least that Flux is very much still in this game. They definitely have their handlers, McLeod, and a few of the other guys on the line there that are working well with the women in terms of swinging the disc and making sure that they get into the end zone. So it's still, like we said, there's a lot of time left.
Jennifer Beck, great presence. Amanda Ho, also great presence. Ryan Onkoon, which had to leave the field for an injury after being hit in the face, incidentally, I think, following a pick call. Hopefully she will be back because she's having a great impact on this game. Far from being over. Qold taking a short lead of 3 points, kicking off the second half with 2 break points in a row, in addition of scoring the last point, leading to halftime. So they've been scoring the last 3 points of this game. But still, Flux, prior to those 3 points from Qold, Flux had scored the 2 points prior to this one. So we're just exchanging points here. So a 3-point lead at this point. Not that it's meaningless, but tons of resiliency from Flux. McLeod feeding number 61, Wilkes. Number 10, Kuhn back in the play. Good news. Wilkes on the sideline. Oh, great footwork by number 81, Staniford. Great field awareness, putting it long. Bourget is the target, tons of player. Hail Mary, jumping up. Hard landing, players down. Something we've seen a couple of times.
There is 4 dark jerseys in that end zone, and there was only 2 Qold players. Definitely just some body awareness there. Who's got a better position on the disc and who can read it the best. I think we've, had a lot of calls today just being a bit of blindside plays. So I think in this situation you got to really look at who's in the right position to catch that disc.
Marquis attacking the long with 2 defenders on him, so giving some space to Bordelot, got himself free. Inside, feeding Pilon, la passe longue! Quelle passe de Pilon qui trouve Marquis dans la zone de points. Oh là 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 là, Pilon là, qui fait preuve de démonstration de superbe habilité, lancer droit avec le vent dans le dos, peu importe. Marquis qui était franchement démarqué. Et c'est le 3e point consécutif de Qold dans cette deuxième mi-temps. 3e point brille. Et c'est 10-6 pour Qold.
Pilon est impressionnant. Il n'y a pas des mots pour décrire cette belle place. C'est l'expérience. Puis bien faite par Qold.
Alors vraiment, le Pilon là, qui est la capitaine de cette équipe de Québec et en plus là, qui mène les troupes, mène la charge, particulièrement à cette deuxième mi-temps. On est à quelques minutes là, de l'heure 45 minutes. Le hard cap sonnera à la 105e minute. Il reste quand même 15 minutes là, pour terminer le point qui est... Ou c'est plutôt le soft cap qui sera sonné à la 105e minute qui donnera... donc on terminera le point, on ajoutera 2 points par la suite et ce sera le pointage qui devra être atteint pour terminer ce match. So Flux getting into trouble, trailing by 4. It's becoming late. So we're about 18 minutes before the end of this game. There will be a soft cap horn at 105 minutes. So resetting Ho. Well, not Ho, number 54. Yeah, Connie Lee. Forgive me. Miscued. Disc landing out of bound. Another opportunity for Qold. Saint-Onge remettra le disque en jeu.
l'énergie de Qold. On les attend avec la défense, le courage de défense. Puis Flux est un peu mélangé avec ces cris-là.
Pilon. Feinte. Remet à Max Guy. Max Guy. Le gaucher. Bordelot. On a connu un fort match. Bordelot très physique. Feinte bien. Saint-Onge maintenant. Saint-Onge qui est gaucher. Bordelot qui est gaucher. Max Guy qui est gaucher. Les trois passeurs québécois là, sont gauchers. Il y a un appel. Parce que c'était une faute offensive là, qui est reprochée à Bordelot en voulant feinter. Il aurait accroché le joueur de Flux. So, offensive foul called by number 25 against Bordelot, Tyler Trapp. Bordelot qui trouve Pilon, Max Guy, festival passeur gaucher. Le numéro 24 met en possession du disque. Laberge. Laberge qui s'est remis de sa blessure en demi-finale. Là. A été ébranlé. Un lourd contact avec une coéquipière. Temps d'arrêt demandé par Laberge. On est environ à une dizaine de verges de la zone de pointe. Qold en possession. En bonne position d'inscrire un 4e point consécutif et qui serait un 4e point bris dans cette deuxième mi-temps et qui donnerait une sérieuse option sur cette médaille d'or.
Oui, Qold continue à pousser Flux à presser la défense, à être personne à personne. Puis je pense présentement la game regarde beaucoup positif pour Qold. Masser tout le groupe ensemble veut la médaille d'or. On peut le voir. Flux, comme on disait, sont là encore. On est presque de hard cap. Puis il y a encore 2 ou 3 points pour Flux à se rattraper. Je pense que s'il y a une belle défense ici, peut-être on pourrait avoir un peu plus proche de final game. Et on verra.
So Alicia, what do you think was told during that timeout in the Flux huddle? So how do you contain? You're trailing and you're in a very difficult situation right now. So what do you say?
I think what Qold's been good at doing is finding people in the right spot at the right time, like that play. And as you can see, it was confirmed and easily executed.
So there was a ton of pressure on Laberge on the last point. And still, Max Guy coming and saving the day. And that's, as we mentioned, the 4th consecutive break point for Qold in this second half. Their 5th consecutive point. 5th point in a row for Qold. Now taking a serious option on this gold medal. Winning 11-6 so far. And we are a few minutes away from the soft cap. This game is intended to be played up to 120 minutes. Soft cap at 105 minutes. So clock is against Flux. So even though the first half was very fiercely battled by these two teams, second half belongs to Qold. They took control over very quickly, opening second half with a break point, and they were unstoppable ever since, scoring 4 break point in a row. So,
and McLeod and Hennessy have not been as forceful as they were in the first half of the game, and they are two powerhouses on that Flux lineup.
To your point, have been a little less efficient and a little less accurate into their handling work. Max Guy laying it out, stealing that disc away. Please call the police. Wow, what a layout bid from Max Guy. Unbelievable. How quick can this guy be? I don't know. Still, Pilon alimente Roberge. Est-ce qu'il y a eu un appel? Non, on confirme le point. Et voilà, ça pourrait être le dernier clou dans le cercueil de Flux en cette fin de deuxième mi-temps. Max Guy, littéralement, qui s'envole pour défendre ce disque. Oh là là! Eh bien, du matériel à jeu de la semaine ici là, pour les réseaux de sport. Là. Wow!
Belle position, belle planche de défense. Vraiment impressionnant de Max Guy. Puis c'est pas la première fois qu'il y a une belle défense comme ça. Il y avait sa première ici avant qui était une faute. Quand même, c'est quelque chose d'être fier de. Max il se pousse à chaque fois et sur la défense. On voit ça beaucoup. Alors, vraiment impressionnant.
So during the last point, we heard the soft cap horn happening. So now it's 12-6, so we're adding +2. So it will be a game to 14 if we're not reaching the 122 minutes time before. Why 122? Because there was a spirit timeout call at halftime. And the rule says that when you take a spirit timeout, you don't want the time of play being penalized by taking a spirit timeout. So 2 minutes will be added on the overall 120 minutes, making it a 122 minutes long game if required, because it's a game to 14 right now. Flux need something happening right now. Great defense, great hustle by Bardolo. Disc is floating. Max Guy will just put it down. Great person-to-person pressure here by Qold. Still with a ton of legs, and Flux has lost their O-line efficiency, which they have displayed earlier in this game, particularly in the first half. Paradis, Pilon qui vise le bel. Loin, oh le bel a très bien chassé ce disque, mais ça a fini hors de portée. Encore une fois, le Pilon qui démontre à quel point il est capable de jouer long. NSI qui était fin ça, le Max Guy qui avait, oh là malheureusement, le numéro 35, Archer, just dropping the disc. Unfortunate drop by Archer. Still, timeout will be called by Pilon. 90 seconds will be taken away of this game time. Considering there's less than 15 minutes, so that 90 seconds will definitely be very, very meaningful in the output of this game. So Qold right now in the driver's seat. Very well positioned to go on the higher step of this podium. Mixed Master Division here in Brampton, Ontario. CUC 2019.
The Qold energy throughout this game, even right now. You know, they may not have solidified the win just yet. However, their sideline is energetic. You saw Guy just running down there and getting down and getting ready to be on defense, and then he was able to get the defense towards the other end. So everyone's working really hard. Flux have just fallen a bit on their heels, and it's really unfortunate to see because they have a good range of people here that have great skill. They're not out of it yet, but they're losing a bit of time.
So Flux. C'est Paradis là, qui trouve Roberge pour un autre point. Et là, Qold là, qui semble vraiment inarrêtable, là, vraiment. Flux là, qui est à court de solutions. We've seen in the first half those two teams exchanging punch for punch. Qold always finding a way to either keep the lead. Flux couldn't do better than tie the game at a few opportunities. So 1, 2, twice, 3 times they were able to tie this game at 2, at 3, at 6. And then Qold taking the first half. So there's a timeout call again. So Qold managing the clock. They're 1 point away from bringing back some goal hardware in the beautiful city that is Quebec City. Flux had no response in second half. Second half score is 6-0 for Qold. So really, wow, what an upset, eh? What a game, like, and really those points scored by Qold, like just turning the disc, bring it up, and just convert.
Yeah, there was a huge shift in the game, specifically when they were tied at 6-6. There was a few points that were, like we've said earlier, marathon points, and just after that, Qold was able to take a huge advantage and change, and I don't know if it's that, that momentum, that second energy, and we're at the last game of the tournament, and you just gotta throw it all out on the field. It seems to have been working for them, and they're truly capitalizing on all of this, and they're really, really in the driver's seat. So, way to conserve their bodies and really take advantage of Flux. They've been punishing them on the defensive end and on the offensive end.
So many players on the Qold roster had amazing games with great inputs. Pilon, I would say, on the women's side, would be my MVP on the women's side. Max Guy, number 36. Wow. How many layouts did he made and complete? Some were challenged, but still, he was always there, hustling the disc, while McLeod putting it long. No receiver even near.
And that might be a bit of a strategy.
So I think they're going to try to set a zone.
Yeah. That was more of a strategy, I think, by McLeod. Type of huck and pin type of thing. And this allows them to set up their defense. He got it further enough in the end zone so they have time to position themselves.
So Flux were not able, they lost, can I say that? They lost their offense mojo in the second half. Could not have anything happen. So that's why McLeod, and I guess the rest of the teams that say, hey, put it long, play some hardcore person-to-person defense. And let's hope for the best to end this game, at least with 1 point on the scoreboard in the second half. Bordelot pivote. Pilon attaque la ligne. Bordelot rejoint Pilon. Pilon laisse aller une longue. C'est marqué qui est la cible. Mais non, c'est malheureusement à l'extérieur. Sa sortie environ une dizaine de verges près de la ligne centrale de ce terrain. On n'est plus qu'à quelques minutes du 122 minutes qui mettra fin aux hostilités. C'est une des premières équipes qui sera en 14. Qold, qui n'est plus qu'à un seul petit point d'une médaille d'or. C'est presque envisageable à ce point que Flux fasse une remontée, tire de l'arrière par 7 points. McLeod met 10 dans l'espace. It's floating. But it's caught by number 25. But who was there again? Bordelot fighting for this aerial disc. Some discussion around the two players. Still, nonetheless, number 25, Tyler Trapp, very well read that disc in the air, giving his team their first point of the second half.
And it also starts with the good efforts of Connie Lee, number 54. She had a bit of a bid to get that disc and to swing it to McLeod, which then put a beautiful lofty throw into the end zone, which was brought down and caught with a little bit of pressure. However, his length and abilities to jump up and grab the disc helped him a lot.
So knowing Bordelot, it's not because he's leading by 7 with a few minutes to go. He's not going to give up on defense. That's the type of player he is, for better or worse. So a very, very competitive mindset, Mathieu Bordelot. Very physical. Still, the output leaning toward a Qold victory. Alors Qold là, qui se dirige lentement et sûrement, les secondes qui s'égrènent. Environ moins de 5 minutes à jouer dans ce match. Alors la stratégie de Flux là, qui a été sur le point précédent, quand même qu'ils avaient possession en offensive, de seulement mettre le disque loin, de jouer la défensive, bien, ça a payé. Ils ont permis d'inscrire leur premier point de cette deuxième mi-temps. Pilon avec le disque, quel match elle a connu, la capitaine de Qold. Celui qui a le disque aussi a connu un match extraordinaire. Max Guy a connu un tournoi extraordinaire aussi. On a eu le privilège de partager 2 web diffusions qui présentaient des matchs de Qold, et Pilon et Max Guy ont vraiment mené la charge. Là. Avec tous les autres, Saint-Onge, Allard, Bordelot, Roberge. Vraiment une équipe avec beaucoup de profondeur là, du côté de la ville de Québec. Gérin aussi. J'ai toujours comme un excellent passeur. Saint-Onge, mais 10 long. 2 joueuses, Lebel et Paradis, là, qui s'étaient démarquées. Oh, une bonne décision, mais c'était un peu loin. Qold qui cherchait à terminer, fermer les livres. Mais non, Beck from Flux will put the disc back into play. And we are less than 3 minutes away from ending this game. So more likely, potentially the last point of this game. So Beck going break side. Oh, Saint-Onge, great bid, but still completion. Now number 43, McInnes feeding NSC. Another bid by Qold. Really want to finish this game off with a point. NSC catching the disc. There was a call way before that pass from NSC. So I think we're challenging NSC. Was there a pick call? I believe it's a pick call. Indeed, it is. So some discussion around. Both teams still fighting in order to score that last point. We are reaching out the last minute available to play before we hear the hard cap. Horn. Beck could not handle that pass. Pilon remet disque en jeu. Alimente Gérin. Gérin n'a pas de marque. Il est fin seul, aucune pression. Il prend bien son temps. Attend une option. Remet. Alors à Max Guy. Alimente Paradis. Paradis à Saint-Onge. Saint-Onge feinte. Le gaucher. Cherche une option. Vraiment en soutien à Paradis. On est très patient du côté de Québec. Gérin à Saint-Onge. Saint-Onge. On est patient. On veut fermer les livres du côté de Qold. Gérin. Attends. Alors attaque la ligne. On est sur le bord de la ligne. Quelques verges les séparent d'une médaille d'or. Pilon feinte. Cherche un soutien. Gérin attaque la ligne. Beaucoup de circulation. Max qui attrape le disque. Et c'est confirmé. Qold de la belle ville de Québec. Champion canadien du Mix Master édition 2019. Ils représenteront le Canada au championnat du monde qui aura lieu l'année prochaine. So Qold winning this Mixed Master Division Championship, earning the gold medal with a score of 14-7. So what a great fight by Flux in the first half of this game, but for some reason it seems like they ran out of gas in the second half of this game. What are your thoughts, Alicia?
Yep, you could see definitely Flux was losing their legs in the second half, and Qold just took advantage of each little aspect of Flux that they didn't have. On the defensive end, on the offensive end, they definitely deserve this win. It was definitely well fought out by both teams, and pretty entertaining throughout. So we got to thank the crowd as well for coming out and watching this great final.
And who else than Max Guy to score that last point? Wow, what a great display of playing for number 36, and so Pilon, number 21 on the Qold's side, having played amazingly well. So congratulations to Flux for earning that silver medal. I'm sure they would have liked to have a better output in the second half, but that's the way the output is. So not much you can do. So I'm sure they will celebrate that tonight. So both of their gold and silver medal very well earned here at the Canadian Ultimate Championship. Our next appointment will be tomorrow at 10:30, where the bronze medal will be played, featuring Force against Battleship. And the last appointment of this 2019 championship here in Brampton in the mixed division will be at 12:30 Eastern Time, where Lab will fight over Soup to earn the gold medal. My name is Étienne Fournier. J'ai eu le privilège de partager cette web diffusion avec Alicia Racine. Merci beaucoup, Alicia.
Merci.
Thank you, Seb, for looking over all the technical aspects. Alors, on vous donne rendez-vous demain. Merci beaucoup d'avoir été des nôtres. Et on vous dit, sortez dehors, lancez des disques et on se reparle demain. Bye bye.